Jacksonville. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Train tracks, baby. Get off the train tracks.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Thompson comes. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Off the corner, where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Fowler able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Todd Gurley, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Now let's go. Green.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now they try the right side here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
We got 4. Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll drop the throw. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, now let's go. 3-19. 3.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Gal, the guy has some
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Grady Jarrett continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and really think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep is DJ Chark. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back. And now out come the Jags. The ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Here we go. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Let's go. 319.
They'll run with Thompson. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Miles Jack with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
That's exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They run it here with Thompson. That one good for 10 yards, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And now running right through it. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Okay, some people call it the shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass, but this worked really well. And it's hard to do in the NFL because of the big bodies that tend to clog up the...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Chris Thompson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Josh Lambo now for the point after. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Everyone's got 4 down.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. Back now in Jacksonville. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4.
Hey, got it. Black 25.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. He came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard.
And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a rushing game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Still 3rd down.
And they still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. That one good for a gain of 13 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
You got three down.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Our football here as we welcome you back. They've got a first down in field goal range already.
Here we go now. 3
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Let's go. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a handoff looking right. And yet again, nowhere to run. This time maybe we'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And Lambeau will put this one through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it.
Is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
He's back to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep him. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Again they run with Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And down to the 16-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. On first down, it's Gurley. And they're going to lose some on this play, being knocked back to the 18. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Hurry up, here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dime. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we see, they control their own destiny now. And that is incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at the 20. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal
Automatic
foul
first
just
down.
can't happen. Have to have poise.
It's a pickup of 17 there. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Ryan to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance.